Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Tonight we turn the spotlight on President Bola Tinubu's reform agenda, a bold set of economic and governance changes aimed at steering the country toward a more prosperous future. From subsidy removal and currency unification to renewed efforts in industrialization and technological innovation, the reforms have sparked both optimism and debate across the nation. And to help us unpack these developments and examine what they mean for Nigeria's future, I am joined by Dr. Dahiru Mohammed, Chairman of the Presidential Implementation Committee on Technology Transfer. He's also Special Advisor to the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI. Dr. Mohammed is tonight ready to share his insights on where the reforms are taking us and what must be done to ensure they deliver lasting impacts. Thank you so much for joining us on the program, Dr. Mohammed. Thank you.
Thank you, Jumoke.
Right. Perhaps we should start with your assessment of Mr. President's economic reforms so far. In your view, are these reforms laying the groundwork for sustainable growth, or are we just taking short-term pain without long-term gain?
Okay, thank you, Jumoke, for this question. Before I go into details on the economic reform of Mr. President, I want to understand that one essential key to a truly successful life is one's acquired ability to put his life in proper perspective, and that is to measure the importance of what that person is doing today in relation to the whole of his life. That does not only apply to individuals, it also applies to nation states. Whatever policy, program, or project or reforms a government is undertaking, it must not only look at the present gain, but also anticipate future challenges, make provision for them, and then channel the economy of that nation into sustainable growth over a long period of time. Most of our politicians, both at the national and subnational levels, don't have plans beyond 4 or 8 years. I'm sorry to say this, but the past leaders we have in this country did not make provision for the future of Nigeria. And that is why by the end of last administration, we have an economy that is in near total collapse. So if not for the coming of the president that has instituted those reforms that has stabilized the macroeconomic framework of Nigeria, Nigeria will have been having a total collapsed economy by now. And for some of us who have believed in the president for a long period of time, going into the primaries with him, following him all over the country during the electioneering campaign, what we have seen in him is his ability to develop reforms, programs, projects that see into the future. What he has done in Lagos State, there's no governor in Nigerian history that has been able to achieve that or even replicate. He was not only governing Lagos with his eyes on the ball, but he was governing Lagos with his vision of the future and how Lagos should be in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And that is why we are having the Lagos of today that is among the best run cities, not only in Africa, but around the world. Is out of the vision of Mr. President. He has not only created reforms when he was governor that will make Lagos succeed during his time, but will make Lagos develop over a long period of time. And there's something he has done which nobody has been able to replicate that. He did not only build those reforms, he did not only build those programs, he built them with young people at the heart of it, young, hungry Lagosians that have vision of the future. And he has been able to establish succession planning that has moved Lagos from where it was before he came to what it is today. There is the footprint of the president in every administration that Lagos has had after him. And that is why Lagos is what it is today. But coming back to other states or the nation, we never had that kind of privilege of having a leader that has the vision to look beyond his 4 or 8 years term. And that is what Mr. President has done in Lagos. And that is why people like us that believed in him supported him to see that he became president in 2023. And he did not disappoint us. As soon as he became president, he took the bitter pill. And believe you me, if not him, I have not seen any of the candidates then that would have been able to take those bitter pills that he took on our behalf. Removing the subsidy on day one, the unification of the Naira, is something that I don't believe any of those candidates will have been able to do it. And that was what saved our economy today. Today we are having an economy that is growing at over 4%. The only countries that are growing faster than us is only India and China. So we have to give it to Mr. President for the economic reforms that he has instituted, which has been able to not only remove the subsidy, unify the dollar, he's diversifying our economy, he has introduced the tax reform. We have now our oil production is growing at a level that it has never done for a very long period of time. We are generating more revenue. The state are getting more money. We have the food prices are going down. We have a cooling inflation, and then we have a strengthened capital market, and that is all down to the policies and program of Mr. President.
Right.
These economic policies are on point, and a lot of people have talked about that. I don't want to dwell much on that. But there are other reforms that the President is doing which Nigerians are not looking at that is preparing us for the future. And those are the kind of reforms that I want us to focus today, so that Nigerians will know that apart from the economic reforms that Mr. President is undertaking, he is also undertaking social reforms, regional and governance reforms that are preparing us for the future.
Economic reforms, governance reforms, I mean, everything you've said tonight means that you're strongly convinced that these reforms are laying the groundwork for sustainable growth. But do you believe the private sector has been adequately engaged or consulted in the reform process?
Mr. President is the best president that has happened to the private sector over a long period of time. You can see the letters written to him by Aliko Dangote, and recently what BUA has written to him. And for people like us that engage with the private sector always and foreign direct investment, the mood has never been this good for a very long period of time. So we are seeing the record number of foreign direct investment coming into the country. And what we want now is for our subnationals to live up to expectation. The president has done a lot, and a lot of resources is going to the state and local governments. Since the local government autonomy, which he has championed and has come into effect in 2024, about almost 16 trillion naira has gone to local government. The state governors are receiving money at level that they have never experienced before. So the focus now should be on those states and those local governments to see how can they align with Mr. President reforms that he is doing at the national level, replicate that at the state and local government level, so that Nigerians at the grassroots will feel the impact of these reforms. The central government is far away from the grassroots. The local government and the state governments are the ones that are closer to the grassroots. And Mr. President, there has never been a president in the history of Nigeria that he has been very transparent with the governors in terms of the revenue of the country. And the governors can testify to that. So even just yesterday, the Minister of Finance have stated that agencies should stop deducting revenue, or source revenue generating agencies should stop deducting their expenses at source. That all money generated must go to FAC account where it will be shared between the 3 tiers of government. So we are seeing a lot of resources, we are generating a lot of revenue, but what we are seeing at the national level is what we hope to see at the state and local government level. Not only that, Mr. President has gone far to create regional bodies that will help the regions grow at their own pace. We have the North Central Development Commission, we have the Northwest Development Commission, we have the South have their own before, we have the Southeast Development Commission, and the president is doing that by, the reason why he's doing that is that he's taking governance and development back to the regions and back to the people that are supposed to implement them in the region, because they know the regions better and they are closer to the people. I'm happy with the Southeast Development Commission, because as soon as they came on board, they created the Southeast Investment Company, where federal government is providing about 150 billion naira as funding backing for them to attract investment of almost to the tune of 2 billion naira in their strategic roadmap. So this thing has never happened in Nigeria. So the president is not only instituting reforms at the national level, he is helping the regional bodies, the state and the local government carve out a niche for themselves, develop their own strategy for development, and he's supporting them with resources, he's supporting them with policies, he's supporting them with whatever they need. So our focus now in Nigeria is, how do we look at these governors, ask them, what are you doing?
We'll come to the governors and the complementary roles or expected roles in reviving the nation's economy. But let me take you back to the conversation around the private sector. And I intentionally asked that question because, you know, the private sector is not basically about Dangote and Bua. And we know that improving public-private dialogue and collaboration in this country is essential to creating a more inclusive, effective, and sustainable reform process. Now, while Nigeria has some structures in place, I mean, you look at the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, these have not always translated into meaningful collaboration or impact, especially for small businesses and local industries. For you, what mechanisms would improve that? And I mean public-private dialogue and collaboration.
You see, when it comes to engaging the private sector in governance, and is something that can not only be championed by the federal government. I have been in this sector for a very long period of time. I've gone around not only Nigeria, I've gone around the world attracting investment for the country. And most of the challenges we're having have been addressed by the present government. The issue of taxation, the issue of exchange rate that was not unified then, and the issue of lack of infrastructure in most of the areas that we are supposed to see economic zones sprung up. So what we are saying now is the federal government is laying the foundation for private sector investment, both locally and those coming from abroad, to excel in Nigeria. But you cannot do it in isolation.
Okay.
The subnationals must also be part of it. Whatever you do, these companies, these agencies will be residing in states and local governments. So the state must also align with the policy of the government that is investor friendly and replicate that at their state level. There are some people that want to go and invest in somewhere in Nigeria, and what they were talking about is insecurity, the insecurity challenges that we're having. And I told them, it is just a small fraction of that state that is involved in, that is having insecurity challenges. The vast land, the vast areas in the state that are not challenged by security issues are there for investment. But what do we expect these governors to do? The governors are supposed to create secure investment corridors in partnership with the federal government. And this investment corridor will be verified by third-party investment arms that will bring in investors and invest in those states. So even though we are having these challenges, we are having a record number of companies coming into Nigeria. We're having increase in foreign direct investment, and that is to tell you that the policy that Mr. President has instituted is investor-friendly. You have seen the President traveling all over the world, talking to investors, and believe you me, the level of inquiries, the level of investment inflows that we are attracting is beyond what we imagine we'll be able to do.
And I think Nigerians are very pleased with that. They're pleased with seeing that the president is the chief marketer of the nation. But let's stay on this investment and diaspora engagement. One, because you've been vocal about the potential of the Nigerian diaspora. For you, what role do you believe the diaspora should play in the current economic transformation agenda?
Thank you for this question. The Nigerian diasporas are eager to come back. Currently, there is a collaboration between the Diaspora Commission and NASENI, and they are engaging with the Nigerians in diaspora to create a platform for them to come back and invest at home. And the engagement we have started with the Nigerians in diaspora is so much impressive that you can't believe the amount of Nigerians in diaspora that are waiting for this kind of opportunities for them to come back home and invest. So in the next 2-3 weeks, by the time the program between the Diaspora Commission and NASENI and the representative of the people in diaspora finalize the design of the program that will be exclusively for Nigerians in diaspora to have a window of opportunity in investing in Nigeria. Once it is ready, it will be commissioned, and Nigerians in diaspora will have a platform and a window for them to invest in Nigeria that is backed by government policy. And it will be very, very, very investor friendly for them. That is in the pipeline. I will not go into details on that, but within the next 2-3 weeks, by the time the program is finalized, we'll announce it to Nigerians, and then the Nigerian diasporans will have an avenue to come back home and contribute their own quota to the development of Nigeria.
And I wanted to ask what you think would make Nigeria more attractive to diaspora investors. But from what you just said, it looks like it's a change of policy. But as an investor yourself, Dr. Mohammed, what do you consider the biggest challenges facing both local and foreign investors in Nigeria today?
From what we have seen is we have the issue of power. And thank God Mr. President is addressing that heads on. The major issue that they had was on taxation, and always they will ask you about taxation, they will ask you about the interest rate that is not unified, but we have taken care of that. Now we are focusing on providing power for them to be able to come and invest. So what are we doing now? We are focusing on creating economic corridors, whereby we would have all the infrastructure needed for Nigerians to come and foreign investors to come into Nigeria and invest. Just recently, we have signed a partnership with one of the biggest industrial park owners in China to come and develop the Abuja Technology Village. They are asking for about 250 hectares where they will build a renewable economic innovation hub here in Nigeria with 100% their funding. So that is to tell you the kind of respect now that investors have for us because of these reforms that Mr. President has instituted over the last period of time. We have been following them for a long period of time to come and invest, but they did not listen to us. But now they were the ones that called us, okay, how about Abuja Technology Village? How can we come and invest and help you develop Abuja Technology Village? And we have already signed the agreement for that, and very soon we will move to site and start developing that zone. So that will be replicated across all the geopolitical zones with time. And another area we are seeing so much interest in the agri ecosystem. We have gone to Brazil. We have seen interest from some of their biggest farmers there, like Campo, and are willing to come to Nigeria and invest. It may surprise you to know that as big as we are as a country, we don't have a single farm in Nigeria that is 10,000 hectares, single fully mechanized farm. We don't have. So that is one area that we have great potentials. And with the policies of Mr. President in the agri sector, a lot of investors are coming in. We are seeing Netafim coming in. We have seen Campo. We have seen Aqua Industrial, we are seeing Akurayaf from Saudi Arabia, all coming to say that they are going to invest in our agri space. So before you know it, once this investment come in, it takes time for them to come in and nurture them into what Nigerians will start feeling the positive impact of. But we are going in the right direction. The president has provided us with the platform to succeed in the agri value chain, and we are going to do that.
All right.
So and a lot also in the renewable energy space. If you look at what we are doing with the electric vehicle and partnership between Naseni and some Chinese companies, you will be amazed. About 3 of them have agreed to come and set up plants in Nigeria. One of the companies, all the equipment needed for setting up of the assembly plants are already here in Nigeria. So things are happening.
All right.
It's just 2 years into this administration, just over 2 years. Before the next 3-4 years, once these things start maturing, Nigerians will know that we have a president that is not only looking at what we enjoy now, but how the country will be in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
Absolutely. And earlier I was asking you about, the biggest challenges facing both local and foreign investors in Nigeria today. And you mentioned power. But what about insecurity? Don't you consider it a challenge? Are we making progress at all?
You see, we are making progress with insecurity. I told you earlier, there is no country that doesn't have insecurity or security challenges. There's no nation on earth. What you are supposed to do in addressing it, there are some states in Nigeria. A state in Nigeria is bigger than so many African countries. So what you do to attract investment is for you to create secure investment corridor. That has been done by Ethiopia here in Africa, where they had crisis. They create a secure investment corridor where they provide all the necessary infrastructure and security needed for investment, and they attracted about $5 billion into that zone. So I don't see how insecurity can stop us from attracting investment when there is a proven template for you to attract them by creating that secure economic corridor for them to come and invest. So I don't see insecurity as a challenge for us not being able to attract investors, because there are always challenges, but how do you mitigate those challenges? That's why I'm telling you that we'll create secure economic corridors in those areas that are safe for investors to come and do their thing and help us grow economically.
But what sectors do you see as the most promising in the next 3 to 5 years? But Dr. Mohammed, I'll allow you to answer that question when we return from this break. Please stay with us, everyone. This is Politics Tonight.
Experience information and entertainment like never before as TVC Breakfast takes your weekends to a whole new level. Introducing TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, your ultimate source of thrilling sports updates, insightful political analysis, and captivating entertainment news. Stay in the know with what's trending, catch up with the latest in sports, and immerse yourself in the latest buzz from the world of music and movies. Your weekends are no longer just days off, but moments packed with knowledge, excitement, and enjoyment. TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, only on TVC News.
Thank you for staying with us, everyone. This is Politics Tonight. Dr. Dahiru Mohammed, Chairman, PICTT Special Advisor, Naseni, is my guest tonight. Tonight, we're taking a look at President Tinubu's reforms and Nigeria's future. Dr. Mohammed, thank you for staying with us on the program. So in the last 27 minutes, you've talked to us about the progress made in the power sector, Greek sector, the economy. You've also said more reforms are underway. So for you, what sectors do you see as the most promising in the next 3 to 5 years?
The most promising sectors I see us focusing on as a country. First is the agri sector, because whatever it is, we must address the issue of food security. And it may interest you to know that as a country, we have about 3.4 million hectares of land that can be irrigated, and farmers can farm all year round. And currently, we are not doing up to 200,000 hectares of land in terms of irrigation infrastructure. That is a huge opportunity. I don't see it as a problem, I see it as an opportunity. And what we have done now is Mr. President, since during the campaign, made irrigation a priority. And that is why as soon as he was sworn in as president, he declared state of emergency in the agri sector. He made irrigation as a priority that during the campaign, we launched the Irrigate Nigeria project. And the aim of that project is to see that we provide irrigation infrastructure for this vast land we have in Nigeria so that we can farm all year round. With that, we will not only be able to feed ourselves, we will be able to export and earn foreign reserve from agriculture. And the program is a public-private sector driven program. It was designed during the campaign and adopted, and when we came on board, we took it up with the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund to fine-tune it, and then launch it in Bauchi on a 10,000 hectares of land. Because one thing we realized, the thing that is affecting the cost of food in Nigeria, the two major components is power and fertilizer. Because most of the pumping machines that the farmers are using rely on diesel or petrol. And with the removal of subsidy, the cost of that has gone up. So we decided with Naseni to first immediately build solar-powered irrigation pumps to replace the petrol pumps. And that has reduced the cost per hectare per farming season to about 900,000 naira. So that has brought succor to a lot of farmers. So there is a lot of investment opportunity in the agri-value chain in terms of irrigation infrastructure. It will amaze you to know that when we submitted our proposal to one of the U.S. Top universities to partner with us in designing for us to attract funding for Irrigate Nigeria project, it was one of the projects that they accepted into their cohort. And by November, they are going to launch it, and then we are going to announce it to Nigerians and show them what we are doing with the U.S. in terms of driving investment into that angle. So another angle apart from agriculture, because agriculture is vast, apart from irrigation, we have the issue of mechanization. There is also a very good opportunity there in terms of processing and logistics in agriculture. These are all good opportunities that we are talking to investors, and they are willing to come on board. The other area that we are seeing a lot of interest is in terms of renewable energy, because the world is going green, and we have a lot of potentials. We have lithium in Nigeria, we have the sun, we have all the natural resources needed to play big in the renewable energy market. And investors around that sector have seen Nigeria as a great partner and a great place for them to come and invest. So we're seeing a lot of investment coming into that area also. And also in terms of CNG and also the electric vehicle space, we are seeing a lot of interest and a lot of investment also flowing into that. That is notwithstanding, we are seeing people coming to set up data centers, to set up innovation hubs where they look for talents and nurture those talents to serve in the IT industry, because Nigerians will have a lot of potential also in that. So there are a lot of avenues for investors to come in Nigeria, and we are working hard to see that we make it easy for them to come and invest.
Well, in all honesty, Dr. Mohammed, do you think the communication around these reforms has been clear enough to the public, especially the grassroots?
That is why we're here to tell Nigerians what the government is doing. We'll do more, but like I said, it's not to talk more. It's for Nigerians to feel it. And by the time Nigerians start feeling the impact of this reform, positive impact, which they have started now, the cost of food is coming down. If you go to our universities now, they are fall for Jagaban because they have the student loan. People that cannot afford to go to school are going to school now. They are getting loan not only to pay for school fees, but for their upkeep. It has never happened in this country, and it is happening now. So we are seeing intervention where innovators that before have never had the opportunity to showcase their innovation. We are seeing so many innovation challenges championed by Naseni, by NBTI, by NITDA, by NSIA, where they are opening opportunities for young Nigerian innovators to come and showcase their talent, and they get funding, they get mentorship, they get connection for them to commercialize their product. It's going all over the country, and those people are feeling it, even though most Nigerians are not hearing about it. We'll do more in terms of disseminating information, but the president has brought relief and is bringing hope. Hope not for now, but for the future. And he's having the right team, he assembled the right team that they are helping him to achieve that. But we'll do more in terms of reaching out to the grassroots. Very soon, there's a work program that the president has asked the Council of State to develop, whereby we will take development to every ward in Nigeria. Every ward.
And I must agree with you.
It's a work program that we are doing now.
Okay. And I must also agree with you when you said students in tertiary institutions across the country have hailed the president's reforms in the education sector. I mean, most of them are describing it as bold and showing intent. From your own end, are we seeing a departure from, previous approaches to higher education?
Yeah, you see, the issue we had before was funding education has not always been a priority for previous administration. And why? Because they did not get the structure right. And that is what Mr. President has done because there is a level to which you can subsidize the universities. Because you are subsidizing the universities and you are not generating more revenue. Remember, in this country, we were borrowing money to pay salaries, because we were subsidizing things that we are not supposed to subsidize as a nation. And that is what the president has stopped. And that is what has brought in more revenue to the government, that we are now providing funding for students to be able to pay the required fee that is needed to be paid for university education. So with that, you are also providing the universities with the resources needed for them to build their infrastructure and provide a world-class education system that the country deserves. So it's all about somebody understanding the system and doing what is right, and that is what Mr. President has done in that. Not only that, you see now we are creating the consumer loan program that Mr. President is doing, that people can now have access to loan and buy things that otherwise they could not afford to before, because before you have to pay upfront. So all these kind of reforms that Mr. President is instituting is towards making life easier for the common man. And that is what we are seeing with the renewable agenda of Mr. President.
But if you had the ear of Nigeria's economic management team, what policy changes would you advocate for immediately? How would you sequence reforms to perhaps balance economic stability with social welfare?
Yeah, we are generating a lot of resources, and we have to do better in terms of applying those resources to programs that benefit the common man. You see, we have to invest more in education, we have to invest more in healthcare, we have to invest more in housing. We have started, because these are the kind of things that matter to the common man. How can I send my children to school? How can I pay my rent? If I'm sick, how can I go to hospital and pay my bill? So we are going to see change in terms of applying funds. I'm sure Mr. President is working on that. We'll apply more of the resources that we are generating in those areas that affect the common man. Education, health, housing, social program that we are instituting are going to be targeted towards the grassroots for the benefit of the common man, because that is what matters to Mr. President. He's always reminding us that we are here because these people voted us into power, so we have to do whatever it is to take relief to the grassroots. And that is what we are going to do in going forward as a government.
All right. So before I take you up on what you've been up to lately with PICCT and Ascending, how can governments better carry the people along in understanding the sacrifices made? And second, looking ahead, Dr. Mohammed, what gives you hope about Nigeria's future?
You see, the sacrifice is we have to make sacrifices for us to survive the mismanagement of the past administration. That is just a simple truth. The pain we are having today is because of the mismanagement of the past.
All right, when you say
The
past,
past
let's be
leaders were
clear,
not able
Dr.
to-
Mohammed, let's be clear. Are you talking about the Buhari administration, the Jonathan administration?
When I say past, I
or
mean,
both?
yes, you know, sometimes we have to tell ourselves the truth. We don't have to mask ourselves in politics all the time. When President Aswaju took over power, the economy was in near collapse. Everybody knows that. So we can't sugarcoat that. And it was not because of the mismanagement of Buhari administration, it was the mismanagement of all the previous administration. None of the past presidents had the lever or the political will to confront the issue of subsidy, to confront the issue of foreign exchange issues that we're having, and all those things. They didn't have the lever to do that. And you don't blame them because of the kind of system we run as a country. It took somebody like Aswaju who doesn't care, who doesn't give a damn, whose focus is how can we serve this country and deliver good governance to Nigerians, to do that. So we have to agree that if not for him, we would have been in a mess. That's the simple truth. So he has done us a big favor as a country by taking those bitter pills that others refuse to take. And what we are seeing now is that the economy is rebounding. We are seeing hope. We are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So the next thing is, how do we take it to the next level? And like I told you, if you look at the setup of the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you look at the parastatals that are key to driving this economy for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, 90 or more than 95% are being governed by youths. The NITDA, the NASENI, the NADF, the FEMA, the Bank of Industry, Bank of Agri, name them. He has handed over. There has never been a time that the youth have a big position on the table like this administration. And that is what is making the future looks bright. Because these youths are the ones that are going to be there in the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And now the president has given them the avenue to be part of governance, to be part of those that will structure the future together with him. He has also involved a lot of women in his administration. There has never been an administration that employ a lot of women at top levels like this administration. The same thing, he is structuring the country for the future. So the future to me looks bright because it's in good hands. The president is the driver and he has people with skill, knowledge and passion to succeed, helping him to drive the economy. It's people that have the knowledge of what is it in today that are governing, that are administering most of these parastatals that are key to our economic growth. And that is one area that people are not giving the president a lot of kudos to. He has done a lot in bringing youth to governance. And believe you me, like he did in Lagos, I'm sure by the time he finished with Nigeria, we will not have all people in the system that will drag us back.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Dahiru. Now, let me take you up on what keeps you up tonight. What have you been up to lately? PICCT, NASENI, what have you been up to?
We have, on the PICCT, our major program that we launched recently is the Delta 2 program, whereby we ask Nigerian entrepreneurs to submit proposal for the kind of technology they need in order to improve their services or products or create new ones. With that, we'll set up a consortium whereby we partner them with research agencies here in Nigeria and also our foreign partners, research agency and partners from our foreign counterparts, form a consortium to bring that their research question into commercially viable products. We did that last year and we have done the second phase now. The call for proposal has been launched last 2 months and people are submitting their proposal. Another thing we did in the PICCT is the Developing Engineering Leaders Through Her, which is a program that is aimed at attracting young female engineers into the ecosystem proper by providing them with mentorship, with funding, with support to see that they actualize their dream in the engineering ecosystem by producing products and services that the country needs. Last year, when we did, we had about 125 applicants from female engineers only. This year, we have about 9,905 applicants that have brought in a call for proposal for various wonderful projects that are up for us to look at and see which ones we can fund. That is what we are doing in the PICT. Another thing we are doing in the PICT, like I told you earlier, is we are now designing, we're in the final design of the full implementation of the Irrigate Nigeria project so that we can be able to get our farmers to farm all year round. Just in the last NEC meeting, the National Economic Council meeting, and we were given the mandate with Naseni to produce about 200,000 electric pumps for the state governors, because they realized that the pumps helped in reducing the cost of farming for the farmers they have in their states. So we are doing that, and also we are doing so many other projects that has, because Naseni alone this year is launching about 20 or 30 ready-to-market products by end of the year. So a lot of work is ongoing, from laptops to electric vehicles to lithium batteries to solar panels.
Because of our time,
a lot
Dr. Dahiru,
of products are yeah.
So, I mean, I follow you on Twitter, and I know you talked about this new wave of innovative projects bankrolled by the federal government. That's the Delta 2 program. And according to you, it's a bilateral framework designed to accelerate technology transfer and industrial innovation in Nigeria. One, what's the overarching vision between Naseni and PICCT's new innovation-driven projects? And also, how many jobs does the federal government expect to create from these innovations in the short and long term?
I cannot give you a precise number because our target is to create at least 1 million jobs.
1 million?
In the long run. But what we have seen is that some of the projects are even going beyond our expectation. Like there's one project that was developed by one of our beneficiaries in Kano. Immediately after he completed the project, it has to do with some irrigation machines, he was able to employ about over 200 people within his community. So most of the programs, you cannot put number to the kind of people that it will employ until it is completed and then deployed to the market. But believe our target as an agency is to see that we help Mr. President drive the economy and also solve the unemployment challenges by bringing products that will have direct and indirect employment of about 1 million Nigerians across the country.
All right then. I just needed to get some clarity on that. Thank you so much for that response. And I mean, back to our core conversation, which was about the president's reforms. From what we've heard, from what we've seen, these reforms mark a bold step towards reshaping Nigeria's future. While challenges remain, the real test lies in implementation and inclusion. And only time will tell if these changes deliver the progress Nigerians hope for. Thank you so much for speaking with us tonight, Dr. Dahiru Mohammed, Chairman, PICCT, Special Advisor, Naseni. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Jumoke.
And thanks a lot for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone, and have a great weekend.